Hello, my name is Maxine Samone. I'm here to share a touch of Venus with you. If you're seeing this on TikTok, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. This will be posted on YouTube. This is going to be a collective timeless message. Whenever you're seeing this, you'll most likely have some messages in here for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you're seeing this on YouTube, thank you for being here as well. If you are feeling aligned with my messages, I invite you to, join the collective, subscribe, like the video if it resonates with you, share with a friend. All the beautiful free ways to support the channel. I would really appreciate it. Hello, hi. How are you doing? We're going to get into some messages. I'm getting better. I'm not as stuffy. So I'm feeling good. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. I'm interested to see what will come out. Today was a day. I hope that everybody's having a great day. But today, we move through some emotions today. Okay? I don't know about you, but I'm feeling Mercury retrograde. I think we're in Mercury retrograde shadow right now. Like I said, whenever you're seeing this is whenever you're meant to see it. But currently, I feel like the energy that we're in is very shadowy. I do have my personals available on atouchofvenus.com if you are wanting a personal. But for right now, I am doing a collective message. You're welcome to stick around to see if any of the messages resonate. Let's get into it. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, higher beings of light and unconditional love, divine mother, divine father, Holy Spirit. What are the best and highest messages for this collective? Please, thank you. Okay, let's see. This was it was. This was the card that was wanting to come out. It was trying to come out, but I put it back because it didn't fully flip out, which I feel like is a message. It says, safe to be seen, Archangel Gabriel, and I am a star. Join the chat. Thank you for being here, but I feel like that's also a message. You are a star. It is safe to be seen. I love that this is matching my sweater as well. Turquoise. So you might want to work with turquoise. It is safe to be seen. I want to turn off, give me 1 second, everyone. I do not want people to be able to invite themselves to the live or whatever, because, let me see, settings, panel, notice board, allow requests from viewers. I have to turn that off for this live. Thank you. Because you know what? I actually would like to do that. I would like to have conversation on here on another live, maybe. That would be a vibe. But I noticed that when I upload these to YouTube, it does show like glitches in the live whenever somebody does that. So for my YouTube family, I don't want to interrupt the messages. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. But it's safe to be seen, okay? There's a lot of things that come with eyeballs. This has been a topic of conversation today. And if you know that what you are trying to manifest, especially if you are running a business or anything like that, and you're in the phase of business that I like to call, quite literally, you need more eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? You need more engagement. You need more people. You need new followers. You need to build that community. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever considered maybe why there is not as much progress as you would like to see, or you're not inviting or fully allowing that to be received into your life because there could be a fear around being seen? You have to, or there's an invitation. I can't tell you what you have to do, right? There's an invitation for you to be safe in your body, to be grounded, because the second card is relief from repair. We have this beautiful red color, to be grounded in your body, in your safety, and your knowing of who you are, and being okay with all the things that come with more eyeballs on you. You know, we have support on the bottom of the deck in reverse. And I feel like that is coming out, again, another dark kind of color. I feel like the red is signifying that you're repairing your root. You know what I'm saying? Like being grounded in yourself, keeping yourself safe. Like even the idea that's coming to me is treating your online space. Say you do run a business, or say you're doing things like this, like me, or you're wanting to like share yourself more online, or share your business online, or, you know, start a venture in this way. And consider your online space, your website, your social media, your home. You know what I'm saying? How would you allow people to interact with you in your home? You know what I'm saying? This is your space. This is my space. This is how I run things. You know what I'm saying? And it's safe for you to have domain in that way and to take up space. It's safe for you to take up space, you know? It's safe for you to also establish boundaries and rules, you know? And I feel like more so than voicing this, it's more the invitation to embody it and just not allow certain things. You know what I'm saying? Hello. It's more important for you to embody it and be okay with if you get pushback. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with people not supporting how you're deciding to do things and how you're deciding to run things in your domain. They're okay to leave. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that support from them then. You know what I'm saying? That's not your actual community. That's not who you're trying to attract. You don't want everybody. You want the right people. You want quality people in your circle, in your community. So we have descending power. And that's what I'm saying. It's being comfortable, being seen in like being comfortable being misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what you're doing, there's a purification process happening. Like you're basically weeding out things. You know what I'm saying? You're getting, feels like a filtration process you're putting up. You know what I'm saying? And there's a vetting process that you're doing through your embodiment, through your energy. So like certain things just aren't going to fly when you start to set certain boundaries with yourself, you know, and establishing certain rules with yourself and within your community. And so some people are not going to like that because, you know, the people that would normally take advantage of the fact that you don't have any boundaries are going to push back on that because they're not going to get the same amount of access that they normally would to you, right? So descending power is about understanding that there is power that comes with you being embodied with your light and your shadow, you know? And some people will take that however they are going to take that. You know what I'm saying? And being okay with people taking it however they're going to take it. And being okay with if nobody wants to support you because you're doing what is keeping you safe and what makes you feel good within your own home, technically, within yourself, you know? And so we're going to get into more messages, obviously, you know, but I do feel like there's this purification, filtration system that you are developing energetically. And that comes with getting comfortable with your shadow aspects and people misunderstanding that, people fearing it, people talking about it, people villainizing you, people demonizing you, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have different belief systems or because they technically are not matching up to your value system and that makes them feel some type of way, you know? That sounds like a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't sound like a you problem. That sounds like a personal problem for them. It's actually invitations. You standing in your power is a trigger for them, and triggers are invitations for people to do reflective work. You know, if they really feel called and they really want to be a part of your community for whatever reason, that is the invitation for them to do that reflective work so that they can be a part of the community, right? And I feel like if we're talking about that, I guess if we want to go into it, I feel like in my community, not like establishing certain rules, but like doing the work, being reflective, you know what I'm saying? Understanding like that triggers our invitations is just like a baseline, you know what I'm saying? And that there's opportunities to like come to deeper understanding about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Balance spirituality and practicality when it comes to clarifying it's safe to be seen. This is full moon in Pisces. So to me, with this, Pisces is all about the environment. You know, Pisces energy is very sensitive to the environment. So cultivating an environment for a Pisces to be successful, to feel like a Pisces can flourish, or that energy can flourish, or that this intimacy can flourish, that this spiritual connection can flourish, this vulnerability can be present, you know what I'm saying, and available to everyone in the space. It does take creating a safe environment. So if whether you're a Pisces or not, the spirit is saying that to understand how you can get a Pisces to want to actually swim around you is by creating a calm environment. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a fish and swimming, and then something in the water moves, you know, like crazy. The fish is going to swim away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're saying. Like, we don't want any, what is the movement that I'm picturing? I'm just picturing like sharp movements, you know what I'm saying? Like pointed, or like, you know, too quick, you know what I'm saying? Too reactive. You know, we want people to be calm. We want people to be relaxed. We want people to be invited to take pause and reflection, you know, balancing their spirituality and practicality. Like inviting in an open mind, and also taking the information in, immersing themselves, embodying that information that's being presented to them through these emotions, through the energy exchange, and taking that information in and making decisions from that. You know what I'm saying? That is really what I feel like a healthy environment for a Pisces looks like. Is it's inviting, it's warm, it's productive, you know. And productive doesn't have to mean like busy. It just means it serves a purpose. It's of service, you know, and specifically with Pisces, it's of service to the soul. So there's intimacy there. And so I feel like this collective may have had a really hard time with like being in environments that supported them feeling this way. And so you may be motivated to create environments like this, or to create an environment or a home or an online space like this, so that you can cultivate community that allows people to feel safe being seen themselves. So we have your hard work is paying off. And this is new moon in Capricorn, clarifying relief and repair. So this is not easy for you because it also brings up the wound of the fear of being rejected, you know what I'm saying? The fear of, again, being misunderstood and all of that. Like I said, I am doing a collective message. If you'd like a personal reading, you can go to atouchofvenus.com. But I do feel like it's interesting because we have this balanced spirituality and practicality, and then we have Capricorn here, and it's the sea goat. It's not just showing up as the goat here. So you're understanding how, and this is clarifying that root, you're understanding how to ground that emotional safety that I feel like you carry, and that you've kind of started to recognize that you bring to groups of people, or this is like just the energy that you hold. You're starting to learn how to navigate that and bring this into your real world, or into this space, or to create a container. It's like, creating a container. It's like having a aquarium or something. It's like, I'm going to place these things. I'm going to make it nice and spacious. I'm going to have the temperature just right. I'm going to put the right chemicals in it so that everything flourishes. It stays clean. There's a filtration system literally in the aquarium. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're understanding how to create the environment that is most beneficial for you and everyone involved. This is beautiful. So then we have a new romantic cycle begins in the reverse, clarifying support in the reverse. Like I said, this does bring up the fear which I feel like you're doing a great job at facing. I want to affirm that because I know myself being a Pisces, saying having hella Pisces placements, Pisces in the 7th house specifically. If you know anything about me, if you've been following this, you probably know that because I use myself as an example a lot of the times. But boundaries. I have a Pisces Saturn as well. Boundaries is really, it's a hard thing. And I was talking about this a lot, like today, of just like being afraid of setting a boundary, because sometimes you just need space to recoup your energy. Sometimes you just need alone time, and there's nothing wrong with giving yourself that space. But I do feel like a lot of people, just in general, this is like a thing that we're learning as a collective, is like how to witness ourselves, how to give ourselves time, how to create spaces like that for ourselves. And so there's this fear of, if I create this boundary, then this person won't want to be in my life anymore, that I'll be abandoned. You know what I'm saying? There's this fear of abandonment or rejection that is rooted in the fear of setting a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Hello. And so, yeah, it feels like you are doing a beautiful job at facing this fear, because you have started to create this home within yourself, or started to create this community where you're starting to feel stronger in that. And so you're realizing now that the people that really can't like accept this about you, or that don't understand healthy boundaries, or that don't want to at least explore setting healthy boundaries with you, just aren't your people. You know what I'm saying? And you're okay with being by yourself until you attract the right people. Again, setting up that energetic filtration system. So we have surrender to the divine, and this is clarifying descending power, and this is the full moon. So we have look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius, and we're talking about, we're in this shadow period of Mercury retrograde. I believe in Mercury is going to be retrograde in Sagittarius, the truth seeker. I just had my friend clarify that, I said, I would like so much to see tarots for me, because I always read for other people. I would love to do a reading for you. I have my personal readings on atouchofvenus.com. But right now I'm doing a collective message that will be posted on YouTube if you want to stick around for the rest of it, or you can see when it's posted on my YouTube channel. But yes, surrender to the divine in descending power. There is a little bit of a fight, internally. I feel like there's a little bit of dissonance internally with, it's like you want to be in your power, but this is like a step that comes with it, is the descent into the grounding of, you know what I'm saying? And if we were to talk about the tree of life, that technically means that you are not going to be existing up here in the love and light. You're going to have to get grounded in some truth, you know what I'm saying, which can be perceived as harsh, if you're not like comfortable with boundaries. And you can see that I'm having a hard time even getting the message out, because it's something that I'm still even working through myself. So we're working through it together, but there is this surrender to this descent, to get familiar with this shadow aspect of you that wants you to stand up for yourself. Because I've said this before in other readings, your shadow is the most unconditionally loving part of yourself, in my opinion, because as much as we try to shame it, push it to the side, don't want to look at it, talk bad about it, you know what I'm saying, there's shame around it, all these things, it's still hello to my shadow in the back, attached to me forever. And it comes up out of me when I feel, even if I don't consciously know, but when your shadow wakes you the fuck up and is like, someone just crossed a boundary with you, this is why I'm now coming out to let you know that I'm pissed off, you know what I'm saying, that you crossed a boundary. And you can feel it in your body. You can feel that anger rise in you. You know what I'm saying? You can feel the chaos start to ensue within yourself. And to make sure that you stay centered and at peace with yourself, you have to acknowledge those feelings, or you have to set correct boundaries so that you can keep yourself out of environments that continuously overstep your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the dark aspects of ourselves teach us unconditional love and how to put ourselves first, right? And that is something that makes a lot of other people uncomfortable, especially when they are used to you being a certain way. So there will be pushback. There will be this, prepare for people to try to twist things around, gaslight energy, all the things, especially if they're used to you being a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But if you just become embodied in this, which is where I feel like there's this surrender where it's like, okay, this is for my best and highest good to be integrated in this way. I'm going to surrender to this and not give a fuck pretty much about what anybody else thinks about me, because I'm putting myself first, and I'm going to make sure that I feel good, because I think I put this on Threads. When you're trying to when you are people pleasing, who are you actually pleasing? You know what I'm saying? Not yourself, essentially. And so it's like making sure that you are experiencing pleasure in your experiences, like in your interactions all the time, that's important. I do see prosperity lies ahead. On the bottom of the deck, we have Taurus here. So that's, again, standing firm. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my position. Taurus is also really good at just saying fucking no. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are known for being stubborn, but rather than like using a negative context to it of being stubborn, why don't we invite the language of like persistent, you know what I'm saying? Grounded, in my belief, grounded in who I am, grounded in my truth that what I'm doing is good, you know what I'm saying? And it's centered in me caring for myself, and those that care for you will always support you caring for yourself, right? So there's that. Let's see. Let's get some more messages. Also, the full moon, it says surrender to the divine. So there's an illumination of something that needs to be released as well. That may be, there may be people that quite literally don't respect the new boundaries that you are putting in place. You know what I'm saying? And as I say that, I see the sword popping out. So it's like you have to use your sword of truth. You have to speak up. You have to say something. And that can be very uncomfortable for people that are not used to, setting verbal boundaries. I feel like if there's like any kind of order to this process, I feel like it's setting a verbal boundary and then say there's pushback or there is someone attempting to cross your boundary again. It's literally removing yourself. It's the embodiment of, okay, you don't get access anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you have to have enough energy to sustain yourself, and that's the most important. Making sure that you have the energy to sustain yourself. This goes for money boundaries. This goes for time spent with people boundaries. This goes for social media boundaries. It goes across the board, Sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you in a way. So we have the offering coming out. Interesting. This is like, it could be an opportunity. It can also be I keep going. Spirit is just saying that essentially the self-sacrificing stops here. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer sustainable. It can't come with you into this higher timeline. It was actually never sustainable. And what you're moving into is going to require a lot more of your energy. So it's important that you establish boundaries now. It's important that you embody this amount of power that is kind of waiting for you to tap into it now. Like it's coming up for you because it's safe for you to explore this now. I also feel like balanced spirituality and practicality and safe to be seen, specifically to those that feel called into like content creation, or if this is concerning a business or things like that. The offering, like balancing spirituality and practicality, become okay with, very comfortable with establishing this is an exchange. You know what I'm saying? And not over giving past that exchange. Because, I mean, we just saw a couple of examples of this in the live. Love you guys. But we see this all the time in my TikTok lives of people asking for free readings. You know what I'm saying? This is an exchange. And the people that are seeing this for free, this is like me giving my time and my energy and my love and my support and wanting to help the collective. This is my give to the collective. But when I do my personals, or people are asking personal questions regarding their life, that is an exchange for my healing services and for my insight and for my time. You know what I'm saying? So that is, you know what I'm saying, like an example. And so they're saying like you have to be okay with asking for that, you know, balance your spirituality and your practicality. How are you going to sustain yourself? How are you going to sustain your energy? How are you going to keep like offering your services in a sustainable way? You have to create those boundaries. You have to also have systems set up so that that can actually, you know, that exchange can take place. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there has to be an offering. And also, I feel like if there's any kind of block with that, if I am talking to a group of healers or anything like that, like I said, content creators or creatives that are struggling with this in ancient times, you know what I'm saying? You don't come to any healer, or actually healers, I feel like this could be a block. I have read that healers or priestess or, you know, the hierophants of these communities, they didn't have to necessarily adhere to the same rules and regulations of the community in the way that they didn't like adhere to a barter. It was, they were taken care of by their community. And I do feel this kind of like support kind of shifting in that way in how we're moving forward into like the new timeline. But I do feel like, you know, you have to figure out what works for you. I'm open to bartering when it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm always open to something that's an even exchange, and we can only discover if that's an even exchange if we're comfortable with asking for what we actually want, and someone is actually comfortable offering what they actually have. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to have honest conversation about that and not take it personal if somebody says no. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your offer, but that is not an equal exchange to me. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer this, like actually understanding like that conversation and not taking it personally, you know? But specifically what's coming through is that you don't come to anybody without an offering. That's like, okay, the house analogy. You don't come to anybody's house party. My parents at least taught me, when you come to somebody's house party, you bring some wine, you bring something, you know what I'm saying? You bring something with you. You don't just come empty handed. You know what I'm saying? There's always an exchange. You're offering the opportunity, one second. You're offering the opportunity to connect. You're offering the opportunity to like socialize and to, you know, food and all the things. The least I can do is bring by something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the same vibe. And it's like, if we're treating this like our energetic home, why wouldn't we do that the same? You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite readers, the hood healer, Amani, she's like, take your shoes off when you come in the house. Basically saying, get your fucking energy right before you get in this live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that. I like that. I love that. You know, some people don't adhere to the same rules, but it's your home. You get to decide the rules, right? So like, same type of energy. And what I do feel like is that there is a particularly strong energy coming through that is going to help you. Like I said, dark horse energy, dark energy, like your shadow energy. When I think about the horses, I think about the chariot, and I think about how there's a light horse and there's a dark horse and there's the warrior that is manning the chariot, you know what I'm saying? And he's keeping them balanced. Specifically, your dark horse has been a little bit out of balance and is coming through and is relieving you of some kind of stuck energy. And it says that your hard work is paying off. This is clarifying that new moon in Capricorn. This is dealing with like Saturnian energy, malefic energy, or again, the energy that causes resistance, or people just don't really prefer to work with this type of energy. However, it does have to get integrated. It also introduces the concepts of discipline and hard work. And I mean, it said hard work there, but basically, this is asking you to become grounded in this way, to establish certain lines in the sand. You know what I'm saying? Saturnian energy. And this is going to help you with, this is actually like, this is you weaving your web. Okay, it's literally plugged in. I guess the light just needs to be off. We are dealing with, like we said, the darker energies. So this is establishing, this is essentially you dealing with or building your web. This is like your home, you know what I'm saying? And so like there are certain lines. This is a pattern. This is how I operate, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to hang out on this web, you need to understand the rules and regulations, So I do have here the vessel also. Again, this brings out a certain level of vulnerability in you. It makes you feel naked because you don't know if you're going to be accepted in this way. I think I just posted a video on my page that was explaining the energy of being misunderstood, how we perpetuate the energy of being misunderstood by being afraid of being misunderstood, because we don't allow people to see our full selves. So they're already misunderstanding us, right? Because we're not showing up honestly and authentically to give them the choice of fucking with us or not. So technically we're already being misunderstood. So this is kind of what that's giving. It's like you have to be willing to, I guess, be the first one to be vulnerable, to be this light in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? To shine a light on yourself. It's okay to be seen. It's safe to be seen being in this vulnerability. And even if people don't like it, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? When we have surrender to the divine, we have the riddle. So I always laugh when this card comes out because... And then we have the surrender, and then we have descending power. It's literally like Spirit's like, there's a block in delivering this aspect of the message because it's an experience that you will have to go through in order to become embodied in your power. I can't give you a 1, 2, 3. This is how this is going to go. This is the part of the journey where the guidance is like, you will have to figure out what that feels like for you, how that looks like. It's going to show up in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is also an ongoing thing. It's not like you just set one boundary and then like, oh, don't have to worry about boundaries anymore. Good thing I crossed that off my list. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is an embodied practice. And this is something, I wanted to grab this one more time. This is something that you will, have to continue to uphold. And, continue to do. It's a skill that you are integrating and that you will have to use for the rest of your life, okay? In order to sustain your energy. So we have the crone popping out. The crone, I love that it has a raven here, or a crow. It could be a crow, it could be a raven. I don't know. I don't know the difference. I haven't looked at them that closely. I just know that one of the two. I saw this TikTok video that was saying that crows, by our perception, our 3D perception, they look black, or ravens or whatever. But actually, if you have heightened perception, they actually have like rainbow aura. You know what I'm saying? They have like all these beautiful colors on their feathers and like the energy that radiates off of ravens or crows. I don't know which one, but it's like actually bright as fuck. And so this is the energy that they're saying you will be misunderstood. The crone archetype also is of like this witchy woman, this older woman that's embodied in her wisdom and doesn't really care that people think that she's crazy or that she's witchy. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying that this is the type of energy that is going to get you what you want in your life with the creator right here. This is how you really step into making life work for you, because you start to establish the rules and create from your own code. You know what I'm saying? We have the stone and the nectar, and then we also have the box. Let me hold on with that. I need one more for that. Por favor. I do see something being very centered or something stuck in the center. And then we have the thread kind of coming out here. Something being stuck in the middle of something. And I kept going and having like a lot of this language when I was talking about boundaries and being centered. So there's something around that, but also what's kind of coming through is that this filtration system, this like vetting system that you're establishing, not everybody gets to get to the gooey center. As much as you want to share this, you know, heart space with everyone, and if they're tapped in and if they can tune into your energy, if they feel your authenticity, they will be able to feel your heart space, feel the love emanating from what you're doing and the energy behind your actions. But not everyone deserves access to your intimate heart space. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's certain structures that are strong. Specifically with the stone here, it really emphasizes this triangle. And I remember reading in the guidebook of that particular card that the strongest bridges are built on triangle shapes. It's like one of the strongest. But then we also have a square here and we have a circle. And it's like this cool looking shape over here. Kind of reminds me of like the inside of an oyster or something, like the good part. The aphrodisiac is on the inside. It's very much in there. It doesn't mean that you're guarded or that you're like guarded in a bad way, like you can't trust people, but there is a vetting process. There are certain lines and boundaries set to make sure that this bridge is strong. You know what I'm saying? And there is nectar there. Nectar is very sweet. You have the ability to like really touch people's hearts, and people are going to want access to that. They're reaching in here. You know what I'm saying? They really want to be in close proximity to you because of this love that does emanate from you. But Spirit is saying that in order for them to have access to you in this way, and we have darkness joining the chat, it's important that it's really not for you to determine what's important for them. Your body will naturally, your energy will naturally know, and you have to trust your instincts on this, who has done the work. What's kind of coming through with this box and the thread, I believe it may be Celtic or Norse mythology or story, some kind of like ancient storytelling about the red thread and this labyrinth. And the red thread leads you into, like, if you are needing to integrate a part of yourself, this red thread, you walk into the labyrinth and you have a red thread with you, and you follow it. And it's like an ancient practice to sit. You finally get to the middle of the labyrinth and you sit with your shadow and you do that integration process, basically talk to your shadow in the middle of the labyrinth. And then you follow your red thread out so you can find your way back. And that's like you leave that conversation, your fears, in the middle of the labyrinth, and then you become integrated as you trace your steps back. That's like the practice or the teaching that they used to, I don't remember if it was just a story or if it was like an actual ceremony or practice that they did. But that's kind of coming to mind the people that will have access to this inner space with you have done that integrative work, and you'll be able to feel that. Your energy will pick up on that because you'll feel their authenticity too. And they actually will respect, and they will like real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? Like they will respect and understand where you're coming from if they, you know, if you introduce them to certain boundaries that you have for yourself. And then, because if you've done the work of becoming boundaried for good reason, if they were to introduce to you certain boundaries, you would also respect that of them. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of feels like too, maybe this is a metaphoric practice that you may be doing when it comes to your shadow, is like kind of this red thread thing. But another thing that kind of comes through with the red thread is that those that are connected to you are connected to you are connected to you are connected to you like a red thread. You know what I'm saying? So there is that surrender kind of aspect to it, of not trying to control or have, it's low-key manipulative to not show your full self, you know what I'm saying, in order to keep people in your life, because you're afraid that if they see the real you, with the animal on the bottom of the deck, this is a free spirit. If they see the real you, you don't know if they'll accept you. You know what I'm saying? So there is an invitation to do shadow work here, but also this invitation through sitting with your shadow. I think that your shadow will actually introduce to you the boundaries necessary in order to not have those fears that come up if you were to essentially sit in the middle of the labyrinth and have a conversation with your shadow. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, okay, it'd be kind of like having a little meet and greet, little tea. You'd being like, look, these are my fears. They'd be like, okay, if these are your biggest fears and you don't want to experience them, this is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Essentially. Specifically, speaking your truth. Specifically, there's a fear around speaking. I'm trying to let the tea like hit the spot of my throat that is like scratching right now. There's a fear around speaking your truth. Throat chakra things, you know? Let's see. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There may also be people, you could also, if you're intuitive, you're like, oh my God, my fucking throat. It's like it's coming back again. 1 second. Let me get some water. Some agua. Move the energy. You said, yeah, I'm right there with you, drinking tea as well. Yes, soothing for the throat. As I say that, and I'm like, fuck. What I'm trying to say, and what I feel like is not wanting to come out, is that if you are very intuitive, and this is already a fear of yours, there could be people around you that you're picking up on them being afraid of you speaking your truth. And so you could also be feeling this fear around you and blocking of the throat chakra, you know what I'm saying? Because if once things are said and once certain things are brought to light, it puts other people at this crossroads of when a boundary is set, you know, either you're going to adjust your behavior to be in my life, or I guess we're not going to continue to be able to be in each other's lives, depending on what the boundary is and how that looks for you and all those things. You know what I'm saying? But I could feel that kind of like fear energy. That's a whole nother thing. The fear that I'm picking up on could also be from whatever boundary you're setting with a particular person. Especially, I see here a new romantic cycle in the middle of the reading. Those are the only two cards that are reversed. It could be an intimate connection that you have. If you set a particular boundary and it requires for them to change their behavior, if they don't feel like as though that they can uphold the behavior that you're asking them to embody in whatever way, they're hoping that you don't speak up and say your truth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to put them on the crossroads. Shit. So, it's like an itch that I cannot scratch. I feel like that's even a message in itself. It's like, with this Mercury retrograde shadow in Sagittarius, there is this hunt, this search for truth, you know? And so if there has been something that has not been said, you know? And so if there has been something that has not been said due to the fear of not having someone in your life, or maybe you've suppressed a truth, or someone is afraid of not being in your life because they are not operating in integrity, and if that gets called out, there's a lot of fear around that, because that would mean that this relationship would be coming to an end, you know? This upright reverse. Kind of a challenge position. Grief. And then the victim. That's what I'm saying. I saw on the bottom of the deck the comic card in this deck. And the comic gives me a bunch of different energy. Sometimes it depends on the context of the reading. You know what I'm saying? But it does give trickster sometimes. And this victim with grief, that person is, whatever person is in this reading that is actually has this big fear. Yes, you have a fear. You may have a hard time with setting boundaries. But like I said, you're balancing, your understanding is safe to be seen. You're moving in your authenticity. You're understanding the power of boundaries. You're in the work of doing this right now. Your hard work is paying off. You're in the surrender mode. You're understanding what you need to do. This person is starting to pick up on the fact that, oh shit, like the clock is ticking on something. You know what I'm saying? And a truth being revealed that they will not be able to continue to pull the same tactics, these manipulation tactics, these like I said, it gives trickster energy. It's like flipping things. You know what I'm saying? In the past, when you didn't have boundaries, it was easy to flip things around. You know what I'm saying? Despondence. Can someone do me a favor, please, and look up the meaning of despondence? I always forget. Actually, I feel like I have the guidebook on this. I'm going to look in the guidebook. You don't have to do it. Bro, throat chakra. But I know, I'm so sorry. That was such a nasty cough too. But you're not willing to, let me see. It says, isn't it like a lack of confidence or something? Possibly. We're going to look into it. I really can't say because I'm like, I really don't know the meaning. Oh, it says loss of hope or courage. Interesting. And the picture, loss of hope or courage. But I see this woman. Every time I pick up on this card, I get like energy transference type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this, it seems like Empress. She has the world in her belly that's giving fertility. You know what I'm saying? But she's also like picking up or feeling like, it feels like frazzled or worried or, you know, whatever. But then like we got this evil eye shit going on over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this hating ass bitch is like sending negative energy to this Empress. But then there's like this thing of playing the victim. I get energy transference from this, but I want to kind of, this deck always like throws me for a loop. Here it is. The Despondence. So purple cards. Purple. Here we go. Okay, so it says, by taking action, you said interesting, strange name for the word, or strange image for the word. That's what I'm saying. These cards always kind of throw me for a loop because even when I read the thing, I'm like, that is not like how my mind would have worked to pick the image for this. But it's also interesting because this deck opens up my perspective in like the reading style, you know? By taking action, I found the road out. The legend, or this little blurb, you know. I feel my throat acting up again. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself at home. She cries out to the great spirits for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and then clean up her house. She does, but she feels despondent. Suddenly, a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, Iris finds the way out of depression by taking action. Inspiration. Iris teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. If we do nothing, we must accept the consequences. Personal inquiry. In which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Key ideas: feeling helpless, acceptance of circumstances, change on the horizon, taking actions. Keywords: revelation, movement, or encouragement. So I feel that this person, that's an interesting little way to do this. Again, when this comes out in a reading, it definitely depends on the context of, you know, whatever. But it feels like the person is basically wanting a change. You know what I'm saying? They're wanting a change. They're praying. They actually got, say, you in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were sent to them. And like they said, the spirit sent something to them. They gave them the course of action to take. And it feels like they're not liking that, actually. You know what I'm saying? They're not actually doing the work. So then here you come, and you, being in your integrity, have to say what you see, be in your truth. And so if you see something that's not flying with you, and this is actually in alignment with what they're asking for, you know what I'm saying? The truth that you are revealing to them is what is in alignment to, like, I feel like almost because this person really values you, because I do see this green energy, it's giving, and then I saw romantic, you know, kind of thing in here. It feels like and reaching for, you know, the nectar here, they may be through this hurricane, which could be an emotional conversation because we're mixing the air and the water there. You know what I'm saying? A storm could be an emotional conversation. And you kind of being the center of that storm, right? By setting your boundary and keeping yourself centered. This person is forced to take action. Normally in those storm type of settings, if you have a hard time with boundaries, you could have, you know, basically folded, you know what I'm saying? And then this keeps them in their victimhood. In my case, this person fumbled every challenge that came their way unless I stepped in to help. Exactly. And then they fumbled me. Yes. All to that. Yes. This is exactly a situation like that, you know? And I feel like what kind of is standing out to me is like this dog too, with this grief card. It's like they were kind of betting on your loyalties, you know what I'm saying? Your code, or like the way that you move. They thought that they could play on that versus what feels like your loyalty to yourself. Again, like you having convened with your shadow and being like, look, I'm integrating my shadow, which means I unconditionally love myself and I'm going to set boundaries, you know? And they're like, wait, I'm not used to this new version of you. I'm having to get to know a new version of you. How do I operate this new version of you? And you're having to teach them through your embodiment. This is literally the conversation I had today. It's crazy. Impatience. Spirit's like, I literally texted somebody today. I said, you know, voice message. I was like, to get to your manifestation, the quickest way to do that is to face the shadow of it. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's no block, you know, between you and what you want. So technically by you embodying your shadow, this could be a very intimate connection. Like I said, we had romantic, you know, by you embodying your shadow, you are essentially helping this person to reach their manifestation without you taking on the responsibility of just doing the work for them. Like kind of how you explained in the comment, you know what I'm saying? So you are actually still helping this person, even though you may feel this discomfort. And the fear that you feel coming up is actually not yours. It's actually theirs. Renewal. Boom, boom, boom. So they're saying that this is still very much love. It's just not light work. You know what I'm saying? This is how we get into working with our shadow from a loving place. You know what I'm saying? It's upright reverse. Upright reverse. Yep. Upright. We have vanity coming out here. Perseverance. And workaholic in the reverse. Enlightenment. I think also if you are a very spiritual person, this type of shit pisses me off low-key. They think that you're, I feel this is a trickery, manipulation tactic, you know, of like, almost as if you're like on your high horse or something, not understanding that you really are integrated or you're doing this integration work. And so there's either this expectation of you to continue being your love and light and light and light and light and light and light and light, you know, and or there's this thing of They think that you care about your perception of being light, that they don't think that you will actually set the boundary. I feel like there's also something to do with this person's ego of wanting to be seen a certain way. It's weird. It's like a weird projection thing, because as they are like projecting onto you that you are this light person, and like that you care about being perceived that way, especially in this spiritual like space, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you like, because I see this vitality or vanity thing with like, he has like a staff with a crystal and he's like preaching to people, just like the commoners or something, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I picture it. But his face doesn't seem right, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see that. They think that you're more shy, but like Spirit is saying, no, you gotta like be embodied. And again, the red, you gotta be grounded in your embodiment and in your power. This person does this for show, it feels like, almost. And what you're about to give them is a rude awakening, like an ego death, you know what I'm saying, of what it really feels like and what it really means to be in the work. Because this person is like doing this for people that are watching them. You, on the other hand, feel uncomfortable being low-key in this embodiment, and you got your spirit team being like, it's time to show yourself. You know what I'm saying? We have workaholic in the reverse. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're actually in the work, and they're like wearing the costume of being in the work. You know what I'm saying? Growth in the reverse and faith in the reverse. They're not really doing the fucking work. Gossip in the reverse. Well, I don't know if it's in the reverse. We have gossip kind of in the background. This is upsetting because I feel like this is a really close connection to this collective, you know? And I feel like this collective really, it takes a lot. We went into all of these different things, you know what I'm saying, in this reading, like all this whole first half of the reading, talking about really getting comfortable setting boundaries, having like being okay with people misunderstanding you because you move from a place of love, and that you're really doing the integrative work, and that you're really sitting with your shadow, and you're really sitting with yourself, and you're doing the things, you know what I'm saying? You're finally coming out more authentically, and the least that you expect from the people that are closest to you is to respect certain boundaries as you're learning to set them. And I think that as you are continuing to grow and grow, I feel like you are also hoping that people are also growing and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it feels like this is someone, like I said, that feels very close or has been close. But it feels like, obviously there's something around like, we have workaholic in the reverse, you know what I'm saying? And like, you clearly have been doing the work. We see the renewal here, you know, but even on all these cards of you showing up here, it's like you and spirit, you and spirit, you and spirit, you know what I'm saying? This person, it's like this trickery energy, and they have people around them. And then we have gossip here. And it's like, again, like they actually haven't had what feels like the alone time to actually do the integration work, you know? And so I feel like that's coming to light, that they actually haven't necessarily done all of the work that you have. And I think that you were looking at them more in a more equal place. Like, oh, like if time has been apart, like if I've been doing the work, you've been doing the work, or the time spent alone, like you're doing the work because like we're in alignment, and like I'm doing the work and you're doing the work, you know? And I feel like that's kind of coming up, that's not true. We have gossip in the reverse. It did come out in the reverse. And then we have dissipating. It may not be so much that they're like surrounding themselves with people, but I feel like when they do get in front of people, it kind of gives this ego kind of thing. You know, they want to be perceived this way, or maybe they even want to be perceived this way by you specifically, as though they've done the work. Maybe it's not just for other people, because I do kind of see that they could just be at home not spending their time wisely. You know what I'm saying? They could be numbing themselves, you know what I'm saying? And kind of ignoring all of the signs from their ancestors or their spirit team to do the work. We have expansion crossing that dissipating card. And as I say that, it's like they've been ignoring their signs. Whereas you've been doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of see bittersweet popping out here. And it's like, to have the truth is ultimately what you want, because that gives you an opportunity to make the decisions that are best for you. But I do feel like that's not necessarily what you wanted, you know? Like we have discovery again. But this brings you back again. Every interaction, every situation brings you home to yourself, you know? And we have passion crossing this perseverance card as well. So this will help you with, it's going to help you in many ways. I do feel like you're going to get, it's going to definitely bring clarity. We have facade in the reverse, you know what I'm saying? It's going to help you with getting some of your creative, like your, I don't know. I feel like you're going to gain some kind of power back, some kind of energy back from a particular connection that you didn't realize. It's almost like, I think I saw another reader use this analogy that was so good. That was like, insecurity in the reverse. It's like when you're working with somebody and they're just like kind of like taking a little off the top every time they get paid or something, you know what I'm saying? Or like handling money or whatever, and they take a little off the top and a little off the top, and then you start to like recount and you're like, oh shit, like they've been taking from me this whole time. Like that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of money that they've taken over these years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like you get all of that back, you know? And this is stemming from somebody else's insecurities because they have not done the work. You've had your own insecurities that you've had to work on. All you do is pray for these people. Prayer popping out. We have perfection also on the bottom of the deck. While this is not the most ideal situation, I feel like this is also the perfect situation to get you to realize, to get you to come into power in the way that you need to. So find gratitude. We have literally gratitude. Rejection in the reverse. Insecurity in the reverse. We kind of flipped out. Acceptance. So it may not go as bad as you think. Like I said, there is this thing about surrendering and just having to have the experience. I can't tell you all of the different outcomes, especially for everybody like on the live or like, you know, that may be seeing this collective message in the future or whatever. But there is recovery of something, of a key to a door that I feel like remained locked, or to your own power, you know. I do see rejection in reverse though. We do have completion, though. And enlightenment. So you may be integrating a lesson through this thing. We have bittersweet in the reverse. Like I said, prayer, perfection, gratitude. I do kind of want to get into the tarot, get more details. I feel like this is going on for a while. I think I crossed the hour mark. I don't know. Like, I'm just curious, you know? But then I'm also feeling like they're like, we just said you have to experience it. It's gonna be quick, okay? Few quick cards, you know. I had a whole throat chakra moment. I couldn't even speak for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, let's see. I really feel like the fear that is coming up is because it's either from this person's ego, like body, it's emanating fear, and like you're on their mind about this because they know that time is ticking for a certain thing. So either they're going to have to go through this transformation process as well. So their ego could be like, it's like feeling that fear because let's be real, you have a very powerful, potent energy, you know what I'm saying? And so, especially grounding into that darkness that you have, yes, it's going to be potent, it's going to be powerful. They don't know how to navigate that, especially from an ego-based place, you know what I'm saying? So, you could be picking up on that, but I also feel like it could be, I feel like what could help you with, that conversation that you could be having with your shadow, one thing that your shadow could be asking you is like, okay, what if this person, what if this connection does end? Now what? You know what I'm saying? Sit with those feelings. What comes up? Is that one of those fears? Why is that such a big fear for you? You still have yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of conversations that you can have with yourself. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So, and then we have the Emperor, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles. To me, this is an issue of values, specifically. It also has, like, we're dealing with Pentacles, so it could be dealing with money, you know what I'm saying? Codependencies and things like that, but like values, you know, like what if y'all's values really don't align? The Emperor, like I said, is about creating a safe environment for yourself, and Nine of Pentacles upright, it's showing, you know, like steady forward progression regardless, you know what I'm saying? Leaving something or someone behind that does not align with values, creating space from that thing. We have the Strength, and then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Be strong enough. If you see somebody really trying to pull the wool over your eyes, the Seven of Swords, somebody really trying to play games with you, that's your invitation to just leave the conversation. Knight of Swords in reverse. I'm not having this conversation. Be strong in your knowing. Be strong in your ability to detect that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, I feel like there's Spirit is saying you're going to have or practice a bit more courage when it comes to, this is about you standing up for yourself, standing up for your little self. You know what I'm saying? Creating a safe environment for your inner child. And the Seven of Cups in reverse, that's so like Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups in reverse. That's two cards of confusion, but Seven of Cups in reverse is like not being confused. Someone trying to, with the swords, is like conversation, thoughts, like a lot of, you know what's kind of giving me is like when you're having a dialogue with someone and it's getting to the point of maybe arguing or, you know, going back and forth or whatever. And then they start to nitpick at your words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said this particular word, that word doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? They start using like little tactics like that where it's like, you're actually deflecting from the actual point of the conversation. You're trying to distract me, and you're bringing me up here into the ethers of like all of these thoughts to create confusion, where if I get into my emotions, I'm not feeling confused. You're making me uncomfortable in my body because I can feel that there is this energy of confusion, and things of source are not confusing. You know what I'm saying? So we have Page of Pentacles in reverse. This person is giving, let me get one more. Crossing the Page of Pentacles. If this person does not have a pentacle to offer you, because we got the pentacles keep coming out. So this is a thing of resources, money, time, finances, something along those lines, you know, something tangible. If they are not offering you something, if they're not, you know, taking a tangible action, if they're not understanding or trying to gaslight, if they continue to try to gaslight and do all these like manipulation tactics and not actually see what you're doing is setting a boundary, and so what they can do is offer a tangible action step that aligns with that boundary, you know what I'm saying? If they don't do that, Spirit is saying it's time to move forward, you know, the Chariot. Four of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Cups, and the Empress. At the end of the day, you're in a very abundant, beautiful, loving, highly intuitive energy. With this Four of Wands in reverse, though, flying over here on the Nine of Pentacles, again, if they don't have at least one pentacle, one action step, can you give me one receipt, you know what I'm saying, of like how you've contributed toward my Nine of Pentacles? How can you contribute towards my Nine of Pentacles to make this a Ten of Pentacles, to make this a Four of Wands, to make this Four of Wands in reverse a healthy environment, a healthy home? How can you contribute to this foundation that I am building for myself? If you cannot do that, then I'm going to go on my merry way to my Empress energy and my Queen of Cups. I'm going to follow my intuition, and I'm going to be open to receiving someone that understands how I operate, understand, or be open to receiving someone that understands how much work and time it's taken for me to build up to my Nine of Pentacles and why I have certain boundaries up, and respects that. And I'm not going to come off my throne, Queen, Empress, until someone comes to me. Well, I don't have to get off my throne at all. Someone's going to come to me and offer me that pentacle that's going to make me that Ten of Pentacles. Four of Swords. The Spirit's like, and that's literally all you have to do is like, yes, this is uncomfortable because this is maybe the first time you've done this with this person in to this extent, to fully like, you know, being in your power in this way. Maybe this is the first time you've ever done this, you know what I'm saying? Not just with this person, but to this extent in general. And Spirit is saying that there's nothing to worry about. We have Four of Swords, we have rest, we have recuperation. Again, this doesn't feel like something that you necessarily wish for. Nine of Cups in reverse. It's kind of giving, like I said, that bittersweet feeling. It's like, it's not even bittersweet at all. It's like, this is not what I wanted. This isn't harmony to me. This is, I want emotional safety. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm wishing for. We have the Hangman in reverse. We have Temperance in reverse. We have Nine of Cups in reverse. I'm wanting all of these upright. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to have space for rest and reflection. I want to have intimacy. Like I said, this is literally giving the Hangman and the Nine of Cups and the Temperance with the harmony. It's literally about creating like that environment that is safe for that Pisces energy, intimacy, vulnerability, emotional connection, reflection, space if you need it. You can have space, you know, to do your own reflection work. You know what I'm saying? But like, we have a container together that is emotionally safe and in harmony, you know? But it's showing that Spirit is saying that it takes collaboration. You can't be the only one creating this environment. You know, we have Three of Pentacles and we have the Six of Wands. that shows success. The Hermit in reverse. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so it's like, it's kind of giving, it's giving two different outcomes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there is preparation. I think that that's why it's kind of being like you have to surrender. I keep trying, I guess, subconsciously to try to be like, so how's it going to go? You know what I'm saying? But like, I do see in one way that like, if it doesn't go, if they don't have that pentacle, if they're not willing to understand, if they, you know what I'm saying? You know, catch my drift, then leave, rest, be in your Empress energy. And maybe that's how the conversation does go, but maybe by you leaving and creating that space and being in your Empress energy, this person does realize, oh shit, like they're serious. You know what I'm saying? Three of Pentacles, they get into this collaborative energy and then there's success. But you cannot come, like, you have to be out loud with your truth, you know? The Hermit in reverse, Ace of Swords. You have to be in that and you have to like embody that boundary. You don't have to like, again, the conversations and things like that, it gives like, I was about to say, it kind of gives manipulation. We have the Magician. You know what I'm saying? They're really good with the words. That's their arena. You know what I'm saying? They're really good with their ego specifically is really good with that. I wouldn't say that as them as a person. But bringing it back to like those other cards, this person is manifesting something even through themselves. Like they want to experience something. They want to get to a manifestation and they keep putting themselves into this victim mode. And you normally come and save them. So they continue being enabled in this victim mode. And so by you standing in your truth, it's actually going to help them with their manifestation. But you have to be willing to do this part of the work as well. Yeah, so then that's where the enlightenment comes. Okay, so I'm seeing that it could possibly be a good outcome, but you have to be willing to stand, basically, you gotta stay 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? And we have the Queen of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Sun. This person is going to see you in a whole different light. They're going to see you as very much in their power. They are not going to look at you like a little girl anymore or someone that can be easily manipulated, you know, or like young or like naive, green, whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, oh shit, like she's someone not to play with. Like she will literally not fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Or he, you know, they will not fuck with me. And they're going to feel that energy, that shift in energy, you know, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's upright reverse. Upright in reverse. We have, okay, so we have the Lovers in reverse, but I'm feeling like this, to me, the Lovers can also represent choice. They're going to realize, like, I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a conversation, actually. They're letting me know how this is going to go. And then we have the Star. This is healing. Whatever was out of balance, and you know it's out of balance. You've been knowing. It's been actually bothering you. For a while. And so whatever was out of balance, this codependency kind of thing, the fears as well, you've been knowing. We have the Justice in reverse, the Devil, the High Priestess or the High Priestess upright, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So as soon as you honor your intuition, honor your silence too. My friend was just telling me that the energy behind silence, people can feel that too. You know what I'm saying? And you know when someone's being silent because they're being petty. You know when someone's being silent because they just set a boundary with you and they're upholding that boundary. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, they'll know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the energy behind your silence is because you're trying to turn this wheel in the right direction. You know, you're trying to get things back balanced. And the way that you're going to be able to get things back balanced is by not doing so much You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take a step back. You have to pull your energy back. You know what I'm saying? And really, like I said, you're showing up here, you have 9 of Pentacles. You're asking them to just show up with their 1 pentacle. Like, do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, please. Just do what you're supposed to do. So we can have 10 pentacles. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both want 10 pentacles. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that is the reading. Let me get some positive affirmations. Let's end it on, like, I feel like that's a good note. It's not a bad reading. It can be a little uncomfy. I feel a little discomfort. I felt that fear for sure, all that blockage right here, you know. But we're moving through it, you know. Wow. You saw the card flew? The card flew and it flew right onto my money bowl. So like I said, it's definitely concerning those matters. And we had all these pentacles, you know what I'm saying? It said, let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence. Do we need another affirmation card? I really don't think so. But why is this? What the fuck? Oh, you said this is confirmation. No, somebody tried to join, but I thought I had turned off my join thing. I can forgive people quickly, release my resentment, and set myself free. You are really leading by example in this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, with that vanity card, I don't think, but this is going to set the record straight in a way, you know, that in your embodiment, this is how you are being a leader in this way. Does not mean that better or worse. That's how this person's ego may perceive things. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I don't feel like this collective is like even gives a fuck about better or worse. But it's important for you to understand that you do play a role in this actively, and that it's important for you to be in your power to keep things in balance, you know, to understand how you can lead this, you know, in a healthy way. I cherish every cell in my body, so pay attention to how your body feels, especially moving forward. And this is where you can also do your shadow work here too. This is how we do our integrative work. And you don't have to ruminate on past situations, but if you can just kind of recount in the moments where you've been put on these crossroads where you could have set a boundary earlier, did you feel a sensation in your body? Can you recall that and take that for in the future? If that sensation comes up in my body as an invitation to uphold my boundaries before it gets to a place where we have to do this reworking. You know what I'm saying? Compassion is my compass. I am willing to hold space for the experience of others. That is a good one. I feel like that is a good mantra. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. So I did feel, or we did see that insecurity card come up, you know, in the last deck. And so it just feels like, again, specifically concerning Pentacles, that's a touchy subject, you know, time, resources, money, things for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, until like you're really where you want to be, I feel like a lot of people feel that way more than not, you know? And so I don't know, just building each other up in that way. Like, maybe that's more how you can lean into giving in this connection, is like through your words, through your love, through your compassion, not actually by doing the work, you know, for that person or solving their problems. You know, you may be an acts of service type of person. And so you're like, do you even know my love language? Can you do some acts of service for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, also reflect on that too. That's kind of coming through. The way that you show this person love, that may be how you want to be loved. Maybe also take time to know this person, you know what I'm saying? And see how they actually want to be loved, not their ego patterning of like, maybe, oh my God, not their ego patterning of like, you know, what will satiate them or like put a band-aid on things, you know what I'm saying? But like getting to really know how you want to be loved and how this person wants to be loved, in friendships and all relationships. I feel like I've seen this a lot in myself, and I've seen this a lot, like I've had this conversation with people of being like, when we reflect and we're like, oh, I did this because I would really want this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't actually take the time to be curious and ask, like, how do you actually want me to show up for you? Instead of assuming that because I would like this, that's how this person will best be supported. You know what I'm saying? When I lead from a place of love, people respect me. And then finally, the more I honor my inner light, the more I brighten the world. I choose to shine. I am ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power. So that is the collective message. My mind went blank. If you would like a personal reading, you know, everything can be found on atouchofvenus.com. And this will be posted on YouTube if I can get it uploaded, because I know that it's pretty long, you know, but you said, thank you. That was incredible. Thank you for spending the time with me, because I know that this was a longer one. Thank you for the comments and engaging. And like I said, I feel like the whole little, like going into everything in the beginning of the reading is like really wanting to feel safe, wanting to create safe environments, wanting to create community, having engagement like this that is supportive and that allows us to both be seen and to be heard. That is really my goal. And so I really appreciate you for participating and, you know, showing up in this space with me. I'm going to quit rambling. Okay. I hope that you have a great night. Good night.